Hello, K. Jolie, Crochet Basics, and in this episode we're going to make a oversized Rasta Tam, and we're going to do it in acrylic, size 4, medium weight yarn, and you need 2 hooks for this one. We're going in an H, US size H, which is 5 millimeter, and a US size 9 and I9, which is a 5.5 millimeter. All right, so this one's pretty basic. Double crochet, slip stitching, double crochet, chaining, and half double crochet. All the basics in this one. All right, so you'll make your slip knot or your magic ring. All right, now I do a little crossover on my hook. So with the tail in the front, and it just makes a perfect little loop, and that's adjustable if you wanted to give that a try. And it also carries over, like it makes like a magic, you can use that as a magic ring and all that. All right, so let's get this going. So we're going to chain 3, and we're going in with the I hook first. So chain 3, and in the 3rd chain from the hook, you'll work around your tail. Okay, you'll work around the 2 pieces, and you're going to work 9 double crochets. So if you don't know, you'll yarn over, you'll go through, yarn over, pull up a loop. You have 3, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. All right, and that's a double crochet, and you'll make 9 of these. Now the chaining counts as a stitch. For all of the double crochet rows, the chaining counts as a stitch. So row 1 is 9 double crochets, and including the chaining, so it comes out to 10 double crochets. Alright, so you'll pull that loop nice and tight. It'll close up that starting chain, and we're going to slip stitch into the first chains made and chain 2. So slip stitch and chain 2. Alright, so now for row 2, we're going to do 2 double crochets in each stitch. So right where you did your chaining, you're going to go right back in there and do a double crochet. And then you'll work 2 in each stitch around the row, and you'll end up with 20 double crochet for row 2. And you'll slip stitch in the top of your chain, and you'll chain 2, and row 3 we're going to work 2 double crochets in the first stitch and 1 double crochet in the next, and that'll end you up with 30 double crochet for row 3. So right back in where you just did your chains, that's where your first double crochet is going for these increased rows. So you'll slip stitch and chain 2. And for row 4, we're going to repeat that. You're going to do 2 double crochets in the first stitch and 1 double crochet in the next with 45s for row 4. Now you'll slip stitch, you'll chain 2, and you're going to work 1 double crochet in each stitch all the way around and for row 5, and that'll end you with 45 again, okay? So this is what you should have so far. Approximately 5 inches across at this point. So row 5, one double crochet in each. So if you haven't, please subscribe. I have other tutorials, hat tutorials, if that's what you're into. And I also have this in homespun. I have a pattern for the oversized Rasta Tam in homespun. So if you wanted to do it in a bulky yarn, a heavier yarn than regular acrylic, you can follow that one. I'll put the link below for it. And you'll slip stitch and chain 2. So now for row 6, we're going to increase again. So for row 6, you're going to do 2 double crochets in the first and 1 double crochet in the next 2 stitches, and you're going to repeat that for the row, and you'll end up with 60 double crochets for row 6. Alright, so 2 in the first and 1 double crochet in the next 2 stitches. All right, slip stitch and chain 2. So now for row 7, we're going to increase. This is our last increase for this piece, okay? So you'll chain 2. You'll go right back in, do your first or your second double crochet. All right, and then you'll work 1 double crochet in the next 3 stitches. So 2 double crochet in the first and 1 double crochet in the next 3 stitches, and that'll increase you up to 75 double crochets for row 7. All right, you'll slip stitch and you'll chain 2. So you should be at 75 stitches so far. And we're not going to increase any further. Okay? So just to show you, to give you a measurement, got about 8 inches across. So that's pretty wide. And as now we're going to work down. So now we're just going to not increase anymore and we're going to work down. So at this point, from row 9, wait, no, that was row 7, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, okay. All right, so now from row 8 to row 16, 1 double crochet all the way around in each stitch for every row. So you should have 75 stitches per row. So you can pause here if you're working it along with me. Subscribe or add to your favorites so you remember who you were working this pattern with, okay? K. Jolie, Crochet Basics. All right, so now row 17, we're going to do a hook change. So we're going to change to a smaller hook for row 17. All right, so now here is 16 rows at this point. And you can go longer with this, you know, as long as you like, more or less. So if you want to go, you know, do a few extra rows, however you want to do. But after row 16, you should have about 8 inches in length also, okay? And let's see. And just to show you how mine worked out, mine is 12 inches across. So it's approximately 24 inches around, you know, the whole piece. All right. So with that, we're going to switch hooks to an H. We're going smaller, and that's going to help out with the shaping and stuff. Because if you just put it, you know, it would fall off your head. Usually these are worn like fashion on the back of the head, like kind of hanging a little further back from the crown of the head. All right, so for row 17, we're going into an H hook, which is a 5-point millimeter, and we're going to do a half double crochet in each stitch. All right, so you'll do your chain. All right, so a half double crochet, you're going to yarn over, push through your stitch, yarn over, pull through, you have 3, yarn over, pull through all 3. All right, that's a half double. So you'll work 1 half double all the way around for 75 stitches in your smaller hook for row 17, for row 17. And row 18 we're doing ribbing, which is all single crochet and slip stitch. So this this row of half double crochet and the smaller hook is going to tighten up the hat a little bit, make it a little bit more narrow or fitted to, you know, your head. But I only did it to, you know, you can go longer, of course, if you want it to be, you know, way longer, of course, as many rows as you like. But I just figured I'll show you how to finish this up. I think usually these run between about 8 inches and 10 inches in length. But we are going to do ribbing on it, so that's maybe about another inch for the ribbing, which is the rim that'll go, you know, around your head. Alright, so you'll slip stitch. Okay, so now from here we're going to do the ribbing. So from here you're going to chain 4. Now you could chain 4 to 5. I'm doing 3 stitches of ribbing, 3 single crochets of ribbing. But you can go longer with this also, you know, however you want. Alright, so for the ribbing, you'll chain, I'm going to do 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you'll turn your work sideways. Wait 1 second, I'm sorry, I got a knot here. Okay. Alright, so you're going to work in, you'll skip that first chain closest to the hook, and you'll do a single crochet in the 3 chains. So 1 single crochet in each chain. So this is like the pain in the neck part. This takes the longest. Alright, now on the base of the hat, the next you'll go in to that first stitch at the base, slip stitch, and I split my yarn, slip stitch, and then in the next stitch over, slip stitch, turn your work, and you're not going to pick up any of those slip stitches, and you're not chaining. You're just going to skip right over those 2 slip stitches and working in the back loops only, the loops that are further away from you. I'm sorry, this knot is like not doing, sorry. Silly knot doesn't want to let loose. Alright, here we go. Alright, so you'll skip over those 2 chains, the 2 slip stitches rather. You'll slip over the 2 slip stitches, and in the back loops only, you're only picking up the 3 single crochets. And when you get to the last one, you'll chain 1 and turn your work. And again, in the back loops only. And this gives it stretch. And there's a police car going past. Alright, and then you'll do your 2 slips on the base. And turn your work. Okay? So that's what that's going to look like when you first start it. And it does give it stretch, and doing it in the smaller hook brings, you know, brings it together because the hat is so wide. Alright, so you'll continue on with that, working in the back loops only. And skipping over your slip stitches. Alright, all the way around the hat. Okay? So now from here, just to show you, I feel so, I always feel so special, like so professional when I set up beforehand, you know, saves me time. All right, so on your last one here, after you work the ribbing all the way around. All right, so after you work all the way around doing the ribbing, you'll cut off. Now, I always cut off on the outside, like away from the hat, for the simple reason. Let's see. All right, I guess I'll use a darning needle. So you'll pull a tail after you're done, and I always cut off away from the piece and not down, closing it up. That's a me thing if you want to do that. And the reason I do that is because I'll sew it together so that it's not bulky, because sometimes, you know, when you're going in, it could be end up with a little bulky nub kind of thing. Sorry, I know it's like, what? Yeah, you heard me right. All right, so, and then also, since, you know, you're going to weave in, this saves in, you know, you just sew it right up, no big whoop-de-doos. All right, and then you're halfway done weaving in. You know, you just go up a little bit and then over, and however you weave in and stuff like that. All right. And then if you still have your beginning tail and you worked around it like I showed you, you just pull it nice and tight and you just make a nice little knot because you already worked around it. So it's not gonna, I've never seen it come out. I use this in amigurumis, I use this in people hats, doll hats, all types of things. Okay, so you just tighten that up and snip off and you're done. All right, so, but this is what it comes out to if you do the amount of rows that I did. Okay, so this is what it should look like. And that's 17 rows and then the 3 single crochet ribbing. And it gives you stretch. Now what you can do, let me give you a measurement and I'll tell you how to finish up if you need an extra, if it's like too big. All right, so this is over 9.5 inches long from top to bottom. All right, and across we said it was 24 all the way around, and the bottom is 20 at this point from the rim, which is the part that's going to go around your head, is approximately 20 inches. Like, that's how we got it down. All right, now what you can do if this is falling off, if it's not staying in place or whatever, is you can take elastic string and just in underneath here. I meant to pull it out to show you, but of course I forgot. All right, so in between here, you would just pull through a row of elastic and a white or whatever color, you know, whatever color is going to blend. Because you won't see, I mean, this is a big needle. That's why you're seeing that. All right. And then tie up your elastic if you need to do two thin rows, depending on the type of elastic. Because sometimes they have it as like a string and sometimes it's like wider. All right. And then you would tie that. And then that'll give you a little bit of a cinch or like a better fit if the hat is too big for you. Or if it's like falling off and stuff. Okay. And with that, I'm going to say thank you so much for watching. Questions and comments below. As always, happy hooking because it keeps you off the streets and keeps you out of trouble. And if you wanted to make this in the bulky, like I said, up links below for the bulky yarn. I did it in homespun. And if you wanted to use a bulky yarn, go try it in the pattern that I did with the homespun for the oversized Rasta Tam. All right, so thank you so much. K.Bella Jolie, Crochet Basics, Oversized Rasta Tam in acrylic. And I will be back real soon with my next tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. Have a super great day. Bye.